And after you've gotten a few minutes of colors and textures and temperatures, go ahead and see if you can detect any sizes or shapes or magnitudes. This is something that's going to happen as the aperture opens up a little more in your subconscious mind. First you're going to get the basic impressions, then you're going to get sensory impressions, and then after a few minutes you're going to get these physical impressions, which are basically going to give you feelings about size and shape, magnitudes, dimensions, horizontals, verticals, and diagonals, what we call orientation, size, mass, density, volume, space, energy. Any of those qualities are sort of the physical qualities that we're looking for in this section. So go ahead and write down a few physical perceptions that you're getting right now about this particular target. Go through and get your sensory dimensionals and any feelings the target may instill in you. Do you get any feelings about the target? This is something that we're looking for in the middle stages of a typical resonant viewing session are the feelings it gives you in your body, perhaps, if you were at this particular location or place or event. How would you feel? Do you notice any feelings in your body? And these aren't how you feel about the target. It's actually, if you were there, what would it feel like? So now we have some sensories, dimensionals, and some of your what we call viewer impressions. And if you'd like, go ahead and describe a sketch. Go ahead and draw a sketch. Now, one thing I should add here is if you have any very concrete ideas about this particular target, I'm talking about nouns, things, very concrete 3D images that you're getting in your mind. That's typically what we call mental noise. You want to put that off to the right side of the page and just let it go. So the left side of the page contains most of our information, the center of the page. The right side of the page is where we let go of ideas and noise, things that are distracting us, that are a little too concrete, a little 3D. Why? Because those tend to be a product of your conscious mind, and they're not really a product so much of the subconscious viewing process. And we can tell the difference, and that's how we know this process works. We can separate out the noise from the signal. So if you have any noise, let go of it on the right side of the page, put the pen out for a second, take a break, and get back to work. So now you want to describe your sketch. You can look back at some of the pieces of data that you've written down so far and go ahead and draw a sketch. You know, you can do this by just putting your pen on the page again and letting it move around. This is typically what we call phase 3 in a resonant viewing session. Let the hand move around, don't think about it too much. Or you could kind of look back at some of your dimensional information and kind of describe where it goes on the page. You can even draw little arrows to say, this is this part, this is that part of that I got from my dimensions. Whatever particular qualities you had, you can kind of use arrows to point where they belong on your sketch. So go ahead and draw a little sketch. And then when you're ready, take a look at your session so far. Anything else you want to add? Is there anything you haven't written down yet that you think should be in the target? So go ahead and do that, and then when you're done, write end session. Just look at the time and write end session. This is important just so that we turn the session off. Look back at what you've written and write just a little couple sentence post-session summary. So just look at your data so far and say the target, contains this, or the target contains that. Just a few basic qualities. Anything that you've written down on the page that you feel belongs in your summary of the target. It's not an analysis of what's there, it's just simply a summary of the impressions that you have from being at the target. So go ahead and write down your post-session summary, and then I will show you the target. Okay, so we've gone through the beginning part of the session. You've got some basic impressions, you've got some of your sensory and dimensional information, you've got your sketch, and then you've got your post-session summary. Let's see how we did. Anyone have any ideas what's at the target? Or should we take a look? Okay, let's take a look. So, the target was Tikal. So let's get a little close-up of that. Tikal in Guatemala. You might have visited there. It's this pyramidal structure that was built by the Mayans. Has connotations with 2012 and all sorts of spooky things like that. Now, Tikal was a pre-Columbian center of Mayan civilization. It was built in the BC era. It's very old, and you know, it was the center of the Mayan civilization. You might have gotten something hard, you might have gotten something stair-like, you know, made of man-made, made of natural material, something very old, something large and angular and so forth. If you got any of those qualities, you got what we call target contact. Okay, good. Well, I hope you enjoyed our little mini resonant uniview session. We're just doing this to show you that you're actually capable of doing things that you don't even consciously know you can do. That's the exciting part about this whole process. You're really capable of describing distant, non-local people, places, and events, and that you really don't have any conscious awareness of. Now, if you didn't get any target on this, don't worry. This is just a little exercise. It's just to show us how the process works. Some people get this right away, and many people, including myself, takes a couple days of practice like this. And this is why we kind of do longer classes, is because it took me a couple days when I first learned how to do this in 1996 to actually get any results that I could see were indicative to me of target contact. So this is the type of thing that the more you practice, the more you will remember how to do this, because basically all you're doing is picking up on very subtle sensory, very subtle subconscious signals from the subconscious mind and translating them with the help of the conscious mind, thank you, into concrete, you know, words on the page that we can all interpret and understand. So I hope you really enjoyed this process. There'll be more videos to come in the future. Feel free to write me if you have any questions, and we will see you later. Take care. Bye.